Welcome to the Mediterranean Sea. A region where ancient civilizations shaped history along sunlit shores and deep blue waters. For over 3,000 years, these coasts connected empires, trade routes, and cultures across 3 continents. Here, every island and shoreline carries stories of exploration, power, and enduring beauty. The Mediterranean Sea is more than a body of water. It is a living crossroads linking Europe, Asia, and Africa. From dramatic coastlines to historic port cities, this region blends nature, culture, and human history. Each destination reveals a different rhythm, shaped by geography, climate, and centuries of movement. Before we explore its most remarkable places, we have a question for you. Which island is the largest in the Mediterranean Sea? Share your answer in the comments below. If you enjoy calm, informative journeys like this, please support the channel. Liking and subscribing is completely free, but it helps creators more than you can imagine. And tell us in the comments. Which Mediterranean destination should we explore next? Now, let's discover what makes the Mediterranean Sea truly unique. Antalya, Turkey. Antalya sits along Turkey's southern coast, where mountains meet the deep blue Mediterranean. Often called the gateway to the Turkish Riviera, the city balances natural beauty with layered history. Antalya lies between the Taurus Mountains and the Mediterranean Sea. This dramatic setting creates cliffs, sheltered bays, and long stretches of coastline. The historic quarter, Kalechi, reveals narrow streets shaped by Roman, Byzantine, and Ottoman periods. Ancient city walls and stone pathways reflect Antalya's role as a major port for centuries. Nature surrounds the city at every edge. The Duden waterfalls cascade through green parks before flowing directly into the sea. Nearby beaches offer calm waters and clear views across the Mediterranean horizon. Boat trips along the coast reveal hidden coves and limestone cliffs shaped by time. Antalya's food culture highlights fresh ingredients and regional flavors. Grilled meats, seasonal vegetables, and olive-based dishes reflect coastal traditions. Modern Antalya is also an economic center for tourism and agriculture. Resorts, marinas, and local markets support year-round livelihoods for residents. The city's population exceeds 1 million, creating an active urban rhythm. Despite its size, Antalya maintains a relaxed coastal atmosphere. As evening arrives, the sky turns soft orange and pink over the harbor. Antalya leaves visitors with a sense of warmth, balance, and timeless Mediterranean character. Barcelona, Spain. Barcelona sits along Spain's northeastern Mediterranean coast, where urban energy meets the open sea. The city is shaped by hills, wide beaches, and a carefully planned waterfront. Its history stretches back over 2,000 years, from Roman origins to a powerful medieval trading center. Layers of time remain visible in stone streets, old walls, and preserved civic buildings. The Gothic Quarter reflects this long pass through narrow lanes and historic squares. Every corner reveals how the city evolved through trade, design, and daily life. Barcelona is equally defined by modern creativity. Antoni Gaudi's architectural works introduced organic forms that changed global design thinking. La Rambla remains one of the city's most famous walking routes. Street life, markets, and performers create a constant rhythm from morning to night. Along the coast, Barceloneta Beach offers a calmer contrast to the busy city center. Soft sand and gentle waves provide space to relax beside the Mediterranean Sea. Food plays a central role in local culture. Tapas, fresh seafood, and seasonal produce reflect Catalonia's coastal identity. Barcelona is also a major economic and cultural hub. Tourism, technology, and creative industries shape modern urban life. With a population of over 1,600,000, the city feels dynamic, yet livable. Barcelona leaves visitors with lasting impressions of art, movement, and Mediterranean spirit. Bay of Kotor, Montenegro. The Bay of Kotor curves deeply into Montenegro's Adriatic coastline, surrounded by steep limestone mountains. Its calm, reflective waters create one of the most dramatic natural harbors in the Mediterranean region. Often described as Europe's southernmost fjord, the bay is technically a submerged river canyon. This unique geography gives it narrow passages, wide inner bays, and striking mountain backdrops. Along the shoreline, historic towns appear almost untouched by time. Kotor's old town is enclosed by fortified walls climbing the mountain slopes above. The town's history reflects centuries of maritime trade and regional power. Stone streets, old squares, and medieval layouts reveal strong Venetian influence. Nearby Perost offers a quieter atmosphere with elegant waterfront buildings. Its Baroque palaces face the bay, reflecting wealth from historic seafaring traditions. Small islands rise gently from the water near Perost. These landmarks add depth and balance to the bay's visual harmony. Life around the bay moves at a slower, deliberate pace. Fishing, boating, and small-scale tourism support local livelihoods. Seafood dishes here rely on fresh daily catches and simple preparation. Local cuisine reflects a close relationship with the sea and surrounding land. As daylight fades, the bay transforms into a mirror of soft light and shadow. The Bay of Kotor feels peaceful, timeless, and deeply connected to nature and history. Catania, Italy. Catania rests on Sicily's eastern coast, facing the Ionian Sea beneath the presence of Mount Etna. The city's landscape is shaped by volcanic stone, wide plazas, and a vibrant coastal setting. Founded in ancient times, Catania developed through Greek and Roman periods. Its layered past remains visible in theaters, street plans, and enduring urban forms. The historic center features broad squares and dark lava stone buildings. These materials reflect repeated rebuilding after eruptions and earthquakes. Mount Etna dominates the horizon just north of the city. rising to about 3,357 meters/11,014 feet. Height varies, sources differ. It influences daily life and agriculture. Volcanic soil supports fertile farmland around Catania. Local produce, citrus fruits, and pistachios play an important role in regional cuisine. City markets create a strong sense of place and rhythm. Fresh fish, seasonal vegetables, and local specialties reflect coastal traditions. Catania functions as a major economic and transport hub in eastern Sicily. Education, trade, and tourism support a growing urban population. The city is home to over 300,000 residents. Despite its size, daily life feels energetic and informal. As evening approaches, streets fill with conversation and movement. Catania leaves a lasting impression of resilience, intensity, and Mediterranean character. Cinque Terre, Italy. Cinque Terre is a chain of 5 villages set along Italy's rugged Ligurian coastline. Colorful homes cling to steep cliffs above the deep blue Mediterranean Sea. The villages developed as fishing settlements, shaped by limited land and dramatic terrain. Terraced hillsides were carved by hand to grow grapes and olives. Each village has its own character and pace. Narrow lanes, stone stairways, and small harbors define daily life. The coastline here is steep and exposed. Rocky shores drop directly into clear waters, creating striking contrasts of color and light. A network of coastal paths connects the villages. These trails offer sweeping views of vineyards, sea cliffs, and distant horizons. Fishing remains part of local tradition. Seafood dishes are simple, fresh, and closely tied to daily catches. Local wines reflect the landscape. Grapes grown on terraces benefit from sea air and mineral-rich soil. Cinque Terre is protected as a national park and UNESCO cultural landscape. Strict preservation helps maintain its traditional architecture and environment. Tourism supports the local economy, but moves at a controlled rhythm. Small guest houses and family-run eateries dominate the villages. At sunset, warm light washes over pastel buildings and calm waters. Cinque Terre feels intimate, resilient, and shaped by generations of coastal life. Crete, Greece. Crete is the largest Greek island, stretching between the Aegean and Libyan seas. Its landscape shifts dramatically from rugged mountains to long, sandy beaches. The island is often linked to one of Europe's earliest advanced civilizations. Ancient settlements here shaped early urban planning, trade, and art. Mountain ranges run across Crete's interior, with peaks rising above 2,400 meters (7,874 feet). These highlands influence climate, agriculture, and traditional village life. Along the coast, clear turquoise waters meet coves, cliffs, and open plains. Beaches vary from wide golden shores to quiet, rocky inlets. Crete's history spans thousands of years. Minoan ruins reveal organized cities, complex structures, and early maritime influence. Rural traditions remain strong across the island. Stone villages preserve crafts, music, and daily customs passed through generations. Food is central to Cretan identity. Olive oil, vegetables, grains, and herbs define local cooking styles. Agriculture supports much of the island's economy. Olives, grapes, and citrus fruits thrive in fertile valleys. Tourism plays an important modern role. Visitors explore landscapes, archaeological sites, and coastal towns year-round. Crete's population exceeds 600,000, spread across cities and countryside. Despite its size, the island feels deeply connected to land and sea. Crete offers a balance of history, nature, and living tradition. It leaves visitors with a strong sense of continuity and place. Cyprus. Cyprus lies in the eastern Mediterranean, positioned between Europe, Asia, and Africa. Its coastline alternates between long sandy beaches, rocky headlands, and calm, sheltered bays. The island's location made it a crossroads for trade and movement over thousands of years. Civilizations passed through Cyprus, leaving layered traces in towns, ports, and landscapes. Archaeological sites across the island reveal ancient cities, harbors, and early urban planning. These remains show how Cyprus connected maritime routes across the Mediterranean basin. Beyond the coast, the interior rises into rolling hills and forested mountains. These uplands influence climate patterns and support rural communities. Cyprus offers more than seaside scenery. Marked trails cross valleys and hills, making walking and nature exploration popular activities. Local culture reflects a blend of Eastern and Western influences. Daily life balances long-standing traditions with a modern Mediterranean rhythm. Food plays an important role in Cypriot identity. Meals emphasize fresh vegetables, grains, herbs, and locally sourced ingredients. Fishing and agriculture remain important economic activities. Tourism also supports coastal towns and inland villages throughout the year. The island's population is around 1,200,000, concentrated mainly along the coast. Despite this, many areas maintain a quiet, relaxed pace of life. As evening light softens over the sea, Cyprus feels warm and welcoming. The island leaves visitors with a sense of balance between history, nature, and everyday living. Nice, France. Nice stretches along the French Riviera, where the Mediterranean meets a broad arc of pebbled shoreline. The city faces the open sea, framed by gentle hills that shape light and climate. Founded in ancient times, Nice developed as a port linking coastal routes. Its past remains visible in urban layouts and long-standing public spaces. The Promenade des Anglais runs beside the water for several kilometers. This waterfront defines daily life, from morning walks to quiet evening views. Old Nice reveals a compact historic core. Narrow streets, warm-toned facades, and shaded squares reflect centuries of local life. Markets add color and rhythm to the city. Fresh produce, flowers, and regional foods highlight seasonal traditions. Nice holds a strong connection to the arts. Museums and galleries celebrate painters who found inspiration in Mediterranean light. The surrounding landscape supports outdoor movement. Coastal paths and hillside viewpoints offer wide perspectives over the bay. Food culture emphasizes simplicity and freshness. Vegetables, olive oil, and seafood reflect Provençal and coastal influences. Nice functions as a regional economic center. Tourism, services, and creative industries shape modern livelihoods. The city's population is about 350,000. Despite its size, daily life feels unhurried and balanced. As the sun lowers, the sea turns deep blue and silver. Nice leaves a refined impression of elegance, light, and Mediterranean calm. Malta. Malta is an island country set at the center of the Mediterranean Sea, south of Europe. Its compact size holds layered landscapes, natural harbors, and honey-colored stone towns. The islands sit along historic maritime routes that shaped movement and exchange for centuries. This position influenced urban planning, defense, and coastal development. Malta's terrain is mostly limestone, creating cliffs, coves, and clear coastal waters. Sea arches and coastal inlets define much of the shoreline. Historic towns reveal dense street grids and fortified edges. Stone architecture reflects adaptation to climate, trade, and limited natural resources. Valletta, the capital, stands on a narrow peninsula between two deep harbors. Its layout shows careful design for administration, defense, and daily life. Beyond cities, Malta offers quieter rural landscapes. Terraced fields and low hills support agriculture and traditional livelihoods. Food culture centers on seasonal ingredients and simple preparation. Local dishes often combine grains, vegetables, seafood, and olive oil. The sea remains central to the economy. Shipping, tourism, and marine services support modern employment. Malta's population is around 520,000, concentrated along coastal areas. Despite this density, many places feel calm and walkable. As daylight fades, warm tones settle over stone walls and water. Malta feels compact, historic, and deeply shaped by the Mediterranean Sea. Santorini, Greece. Santorini rises from the Aegean as a crescent of cliffs formed by ancient volcanic activity. Sheer rock walls frame a flooded caldera, creating one of the Mediterranean's most dramatic seascapes. The island's geography defines its identity. Villages sit high above the water, offering wide views across the open sea. Santorini's history is closely tied to natural forces. A major eruption in the 2nd millennium BCE reshaped the island and surrounding coastline. Settlements adapted to this terrain over time. Compact buildings follow the cliffs, designed to manage wind, heat, and limited space. Oia and Fira are among the best-known villages. Whitewashed homes and narrow paths reflect a balance between tradition and careful planning. Along the coast, beaches differ from typical sandy shores. Dark volcanic pebbles and layered rock formations mark the island's shoreline. Santorini's food culture reflects local conditions. Dishes rely on vegetables, grains, herbs, and seafood suited to dry island soil. Tourism plays a central role in the modern economy. Hospitality, transport, and local services support year-round employment. The island's population is approximately 15,000. Despite global attention, many daily routines remain calm and structured. As evening approaches, light softens across the caldera walls. Santorini feels shaped by geology, history, and careful human settlement. Valletta, Malta. Valletta stands on a narrow peninsula between two deep natural harbors in the central Mediterranean. Its elevated position gives wide views across open water and fortified coastlines. The city was purpose-built in the 16th century as a planned capital. Straight streets and a grid layout reflect careful urban design for defense and administration. Limestone dominates Valletta's architecture. Warm-toned stone buildings create visual unity across streets, squares, and waterfront edges. Despite its compact size, the city holds dense layers of history. Public buildings, bastions, and civic spaces reveal Malta's strategic maritime role. The streets follow a gentle slope toward the sea. This design allows airflow and natural cooling during warmer months. Valletta functions as Malta's political and cultural center. Government, education, and creative institutions shape daily activity. Local markets and cafes bring steady movement to the city. Food culture emphasizes seasonal produce and simple Mediterranean preparation. Harbor activity remains visible from many viewpoints. Shipping and marine services continue to support the local economy. Valletta's population is under 10,000, making it one of Europe's smallest capitals, yet its daytime energy reflects its national importance. As evening arrives, soft light settles over stone walls and water. Valletta feels balanced between history, function, and Mediterranean calm. Mallorca, Spain. Mallorca lies in the western Mediterranean, forming the largest island of Spain's Balearic group. Its coastline shifts between high cliffs, quiet coves, and long bays with clear water. The island's interior is defined by the Serra de Tramuntana Mountains. These peaks rise above 1,400 meters (4,593 feet), shaping weather and rural life. Human settlement on Mallorca spans thousands of years. Coastal towns grew through trade, while inland villages developed around farming routes. Stone terraces line the hillsides. They support olive trees, citrus groves, and small vineyards adapted to steep terrain. The capital, Palma, anchors the island's economic and cultural activity. Port services, administration, and tourism concentrate along the bay. Beyond the city, traditional towns preserve slower rhythms. Markets, workshops, and family businesses reflect everyday island routines. Mallorca's beaches vary widely. Some feature wide sandy shores while others hide between rocky headlands. Walking and cycling routes cross both coast and mountains. These paths reveal sea views, forested valleys, and historic connections between settlements. Local food reflects land and sea together. Vegetables, grains, seafood, and olive oil dominate everyday meals. Tourism supports much of the modern economy. Hospitality, transport, and local crafts provide year-round employment. Mallorca's population is around 950,000 with seasonal variation. Despite popularity, many areas remain quiet and well-preserved. Mallorca offers contrast without distance. Mountains, coast, history, and daily life meet within a single island landscape. Corsica, France. Corsica lies between mainland France and Italy, rising sharply from the Mediterranean Sea. It is the fourth largest island in the Mediterranean, shaped by mountains and rugged coastlines. Nearly one-third of the island is protected natural land. This preservation keeps large areas forested, wild, and lightly developed. Corsica's interior is dominated by high peaks and deep valleys. Mountain ridges exceed 2,700 meters / 8,858 feet, influencing climate and settlement patterns. Villages sit high above the coast, connected by winding roads. Daily life here remains closely tied to land, weather, and seasonal rhythms. The coastline contrasts sharply with the interior. White pebble beaches, rocky coves, and clear waters define much of the shore. Small fishing towns line the coast. Harbors support boating, local trade, and coastal tourism. Corsica's history reflects a blend of Mediterranean influences. Control shifted between regional powers, shaping local identity and governance. A distinct cultural character remains strong. Language, music, and customs differ noticeably from mainland France. Food traditions rely on local produce. Cheese, chestnuts, vegetables, and seafood feature prominently in regional cooking. Tourism supports much of the modern economy. Hiking, swimming, and nature exploration attract visitors throughout the year. The island's population is about 350,000. Despite this, many areas feel quiet and remote. Corsica feels raw and self-contained. Its landscapes and traditions offer a powerful sense of Mediterranean independence. Amalfi Coast, Italy. The Amalfi Coast stretches along southern Italy, where limestone cliffs rise sharply above the Mediterranean Sea. This coastline runs for about 40 kilometers / 25 miles between steep mountains and narrow coastal roads. Its geography defines every settlement. Terrace towns cling to cliffs, shaped by limited land and dramatic elevation changes. Human activity here dates back to ancient maritime trade. Coastal towns grew as ports, linking southern Italy with wider Mediterranean routes. Amalfi, Positano, and Ravello are among the most recognized towns. Each developed around small harbors, hillside paths, and compact urban forms. Buildings follow the natural slope. Pastel facades, stone stairways, and stacked terraces create a vertical cityscape. The coastline offers constant visual contrast. Sheer rock faces drop into deep blue water, interrupted by small beaches and coves. Walking routes connect villages through hills and valleys. These paths reveal sea views, lemon groves, and long-established farming terraces. Local food reflects both land and sea. Seafood, citrus fruits, vegetables, and olive oil shape everyday cooking traditions. Tourism is the main economic driver today. Hospitality, transport, and local crafts support coastal communities year-round. The resident population is relatively small compared to visitor numbers. Despite this, many towns maintain strong local routines. As daylight fades, shadows stretch across cliffs and water. The Amalfi Coast feels carefully balanced between nature, settlement, and history. Sardinia, Italy. Sardinia is the second largest island in the Mediterranean Sea, located west of mainland Italy. Its coastline stretches for thousands of kilometers, shaped by cliffs, coves, and wide, sandy beaches. The island's interior is rugged and mountainous. Granite hills and high plateaus create strong contrasts with the surrounding sea. Human settlement on Sardinia dates back thousands of years. Prehistoric stone structures, known as nuraga, still stand across the landscape. These ancient towers reflect early community organization and local defense needs. They remain one of the island's most distinctive historical features. Agriculture developed around the island's varied terrain. Sheep farming, grain cultivation, and olive groves shaped rural life for centuries. Sardinian food traditions are deeply local. Cheese, bread, vegetables, and seafood reflect island resources and seasonal rhythms. The coastline offers diverse experiences. Some areas feature long, open beaches, while others hide quiet bays between rocky headlands. Clear waters support swimming, boating, and coastal exploration. Winds and currents shape marine conditions throughout the year. Modern Sardinia balances tradition and tourism. Hospitality, agriculture, and small-scale industry support the regional economy. The island's population is about 1,600,000, spread across towns and rural areas. Many communities maintain strong local identities and customs. Sardinia feels both vast and grounded. Its landscapes, history, and daily life reveal a Mediterranean island shaped by endurance and isolation. Capri, Italy. Capri rises from the Tyrrhenian Sea just off southern Italy, defined by steep cliffs and clear blue water. The island measures about 6 kilometers long and 2 kilometers wide, yet its terrain feels dramatic and vertical. Limestone cliffs dominate the coastline. Some reach heights of around 100 meters / 328 feet above the sea. Capri has attracted visitors since ancient times. Its position made it a quiet retreat connected to nearby mainland ports. The island is divided into 2 main towns. Capri town sits closer to the harbor, while Anacapri lies higher on the slopes. Anacapri offers wider views and a calmer pace. Paths here reveal terraces, gardens, and open horizons across the sea. Natural features shape the island's identity. Sea caves, rock arches, and coastal formations define much of the shoreline. Boat travel remains an important way to experience Capri. From the water, cliffs appear taller and more sculpted by erosion. Walking trails cross the island's interior. These routes connect viewpoints, small settlements, and agricultural terraces. Food traditions reflect simplicity and freshness. Local dishes rely on seafood, vegetables, herbs, and olive oil. Tourism is the island's primary economic activity. Transport, hospitality, and services support daily life for residents. Capre's population is about 12,000. Despite heavy visitation, local routines continue year-round. As evening light softens the cliffs, the island grows quiet. Capri feels compact, refined, and shaped by both nature and long human presence. Zakynthos, Greece. Zakynthos lies in the Ionian Sea west of mainland Greece, known for striking coastal contrasts. Steep limestone cliffs rise above bright turquoise waters along the island's northern shores. The island's geography changes noticeably from north to south. Rocky coastlines dominate the northwest, while long sandy beaches shape the southern region. Zakynthos developed through centuries of maritime influence. Venetian rule left lasting marks on town planning, language traces, and local traditions. Many historic structures were lost to earthquakes in the 20th century. Reconstruction reshaped towns while preserving cultural identity and layout. The interior of the island is fertile and green. Olive groves, vineyards, and small farms support rural communities. Coastal waters around Zakynthos are exceptionally clear. Sea caves and hidden coves can be reached by small boats. Marine life plays an important role in the island's ecosystem. Protected coastal zones support long-term environmental balance. Food traditions reflect both land and sea. Fresh seafood, vegetables, olive oil, and herbs dominate everyday meals. Zakynthos relies heavily on tourism for its economy. Hospitality, transport, and local services provide employment across the island. The permanent population is around 40,000. Seasonal visitors increase activity during warmer months. Despite popularity, many inland villages remain quiet and traditional. Daily life here follows agricultural cycles and local customs. As sunlight reflects off pale cliffs and open water, the island feels vivid and open. Zakynthos leaves visitors with a strong impression of color, clarity, and Mediterranean balance. Rhodes, Greece. Rhodes lies in the southeastern Aegean, close to Asia Minor, shaped by sun, sea, and steady winds. Its position made the island a key maritime stop connecting eastern and western Mediterranean routes. The landscape varies across the island. Rocky headlands and open beaches line the coast, while low hills and valleys fill the interior. Rhodes has a long and complex history. Ancient, medieval, and later periods shaped its urban form and defensive planning. The old town of Rhodes City remains one of the best preserved fortified settlements in the region. Stone streets, gates, and walls reflect centuries of strategic importance and trade. Beyond the main city, smaller towns and villages reveal quieter rhythms. Traditional houses and local squares shape everyday community life. The island enjoys more than 300 days of sunshine each year. This climate supports agriculture and year-round outdoor activity. Beaches differ widely in character. Some offer long, sandy stretches, while others feature pebbles and clear, shallow water. Winds along the coast support sailing and water-based activities. Calmer bays provide space for swimming and coastal relaxation. Food culture reflects island resources. Meals focus on vegetables, grains, seafood, and olive oil. Tourism is central to the modern economy. Hotels, transport, and local businesses support employment across the island. Rhodes has a population of about 115,000. Seasonal visitors significantly increase activity during summer months. Despite its popularity, the island retains strong local identity. Daily routines continue beyond tourist centers. As evening light softens the stone walls and sea surface, Rhodes feels grounded and enduring. Naxos, Greece. Naxos sits at the heart of the Cyclades, rising gently from the Aegean Sea. It is the largest island in the Cyclades group, offering space, variety, and open horizons. The island's landscape is unusually diverse. High mountains dominate the interior, with Mount Zaz reaching about 1,004 meters / 3,294 feet. Fertile valleys spread between these peaks. They support farming communities that remain active throughout the year. Naxos has been inhabited since ancient times. Its position made it important for early maritime routes and regional trade. Stone villages dot the hillsides. Narrow lanes, simple houses, and local squares shape everyday village life. The coastline contrasts with the interior. Long sandy beaches stretch along the western shore, facing calmer seas. These beaches are well suited for swimming and wind-based activities. Steady breezes support sailing and water sports during warmer months. Naxos town, also known as Kora, serves as the island's main port. Harbor activity connects the island to nearby Cyclades destinations. Food traditions here reflect agricultural strength. Local cheese, vegetables, grains, and olive oil feature in daily meals. Tourism blends naturally with local life. Small hotels, family businesses, and farms support the island economy. The population is around 20,000, spread across coast and interior. Many residents balance tourism work with agriculture. Naxos feels open and grounded at the same time. Its scale allows visitors to experience both coastline and countryside with ease. Var, Croatia. Var lies off Croatia's Dalmatian coast, extending into the Adriatic with long, sunny days. It is known for clear waters, rocky shores, and a deeply indented coastline. The island enjoys over 2,700 hours of sunshine each year. This climate shapes daily life, agriculture, and outdoor activity. Hvar town developed around a natural harbor. Its position supported maritime trade and regional movement for centuries. Stone streets and public squares define the historic core. Architecture reflects Venetian influence and long coastal traditions. Above the town, hills rise gently inland. These slopes are covered with lavender fields, olive groves, and vineyards. Agriculture remains an important part of the island's identity. Lavender cultivation became especially significant in the modern era. The surrounding sea is calm and clear. Small coves and nearby islets can be reached by short boat trips. Walking paths connect beaches, villages, and viewpoints. These routes reveal wide sea horizons and layered coastal terrain. Food culture reflects island resources. Meals emphasize seafood, vegetables, herbs, and olive oil. Tourism is central to the local economy. Marinas, hospitality services, and transport support year-round employment. The island's population is around 11,000. Seasonal visitors increase activity during summer months. Despite its popularity, quieter villages remain inland. Life there follows agricultural cycles and local customs. As evening light settles over the harbor, Var feels calm and balanced. The island combines coastal beauty, tradition, and steady Mediterranean rhythm. Piran, Slovenia. Piran sits at the tip of a narrow peninsula on Slovenia's Adriatic coast. The town is surrounded by calm waters, creating a compact and walkable seaside setting. Its geography defines daily life. Streets curve tightly along the peninsula, shaped by limited land and open sea. Piran developed as a maritime town over many centuries. Salt trade and seafaring once supported its economy and regional connections. Venetian influence remains visible in urban design. Stone houses, balconies, and narrow lanes reflect long coastal traditions. The old town feels intimate and human-scaled. Most streets are pedestrian only, encouraging slow movement and observation. Along the waterfront, the promenade follows the curve of the peninsula. Fishing boats, small piers, and open views define the horizon. The sea shapes local food culture. Fresh fish, simple preparations, and seasonal ingredients dominate everyday meals. Salt pans near Piran remain an important cultural landmark. They reflect historic methods of coastal resource use. Tourism supports much of the modern economy. Small hotels, cafes, and family businesses serve visitors year-round. Piran's population is under 5,000. This scale keeps the town calm, even during busy seasons. Despite its size, Piran feels complete. Daily routines unfold between sea, street, and square. As evening approaches, light reflects softly off stone walls and water. Piran leaves visitors with a sense of balance between history, sea, and quiet coastal life. Split, Croatia. Split lies along Croatia's Dalmatian coast, where the Adriatic Sea meets a dramatic mountain backdrop. The city spreads between the sea and rising hills, creating a striking natural setting. Split began as a Roman settlement over 1,700 years ago. Its urban core developed around a vast palace complex that still shapes the city today. This historic structure now forms the heart of modern Split. Homes, shops, and streets exist within ancient stone walls. The waterfront promenade defines daily life. Locals and visitors gather here to walk, talk, and watch the movement of the harbor. Behind the city, hills rise sharply. These slopes provide viewpoints overlooking the coastline and nearby islands. Split is a major transport hub for the Dalmatian region. Ferries connect the city to surrounding islands and coastal towns. The city blends history with modern living. Cafes, markets, and residential neighborhoods operate alongside preserved structures. Food culture reflects coastal traditions. Seafood, vegetables, olive oil, and grains shape everyday meals. Tourism plays a key role in the economy. Hospitality, transport, and services provide employment across the city. Split is Croatia's second largest city with a population over 160,000. Despite this size, the historic center feels compact and lively. Beaches lie close to the urban area. Shallow waters and sheltered bays attract swimmers during warmer months. As evening arrives, stone walls glow under soft light. Split feels active, grounded, and deeply connected to both sea and history. Budva, Montenegro. Budva sits along Montenegro's Adriatic coast, where stone walls meet clear blue water. The city occupies a narrow peninsula, creating a compact historic center beside open beaches. Budva's history spans more than 2,500 years. Its location supported early maritime trade and long-term coastal settlement. The old town is enclosed by medieval fortifications. Stone streets, small squares, and preserved layouts reflect centuries of urban continuity. Beyond the walls, the coastline opens into sandy and pebbled beaches. Shallow waters and sheltered bays shape local recreation and daily routines. Budva blends historic structure with modern coastal life. New districts extend inland, supporting growth and seasonal movement. The surrounding landscape adds contrast. Low hills rise behind the city, framing views across the Adriatic Sea. Fishing and small-scale boating remain part of local tradition. Harbors support everyday activity alongside tourism services. Food culture reflects coastal resources. Fresh seafood, vegetables, grains, and olive oil dominate local meals. Tourism is a major economic driver. Hotels, restaurants, and transport services support employment across the region. Budva's permanent population is about 20,000. During summer, visitor numbers increase significantly. Despite seasonal activity, the old town retains a steady rhythm. Mornings feel quiet before the city gradually fills with movement. As evening light settles over stone walls and water, Budva feels balanced. The city connects ancient structure with modern Mediterranean life. Sarandi, Albania. Sarandi lies along Albania's southern Ionian coast, facing calm waters and rolling green hills. The city curves around a wide bay, creating an open and sunlit coastal setting. Its location near the Greek border shaped long-standing regional connections. Maritime routes once linked Sarandi to nearby islands and mainland ports. The coastline defines daily life here. Clear waters and gently sloping beaches make the sea central to movement and leisure. Hills rise immediately behind the city. These slopes frame views across the bay and influence local climate conditions. Sarandi developed steadily during the modern era. Urban growth followed the shoreline, expanding around natural contours. Nearby archaeological sites reveal much older layers of history. Ancient ruins in the surrounding area reflect early settlement and regional importance. Fishing remains part of local tradition. Small boats line the waterfront, supporting daily catches and coastal routines. Food culture emphasizes simplicity and freshness. Seafood, vegetables, olive oil, and citrus flavors shape everyday meals. Tourism plays a growing role in the local economy. Hotels, cafes, and transport services support employment across the city. The permanent population is around 20,000. Seasonal visitors increase activity during warmer months. Despite rising popularity, Sarandi keeps a relaxed pace. Even busy days slow down as evening approaches. As the sun sets over the Ionian Sea, light softens across the bay. Saranda feels open, warm, and closely tied to its coastal landscape. From sunlit islands to historic coastal towns, the Mediterranean reveals endless layers of human and natural history. Each destination reflects a balance between land, sea, and centuries of shared movement. Here, geography shaped civilizations, and daily life still follows the rhythm of the water. These shores remind us how closely culture and landscape are connected. And wherever your next journey takes you, may it be full of wonder. If this journey inspired you, please like and subscribe. It is completely free, yet it helps creators more than you can imagine. And tell us in the comments, which country should we explore next?